Thank you, Toastmasters and honoured guests. How's the crack? Happy St. Patrick's Day. I just don't understand the American interpretation of this holiday. Who in their right mind thought it was a good idea to dye a river grain? Or worse, a pint of beer? I don't drink, and that's just disgusting. Especially if you consider it historically. During the potato famine, people's lips and faces did turn green because all they had to eat was the grasses. Additionally, though the Irish are known for their drink, why have Americans made Patrick the patron saint of drunks? And for all that's holy, a four-leaf clover is not a shamrock, no matter what your cereal box will tell you. You might think you have a lucky charm with that extra leaf, but a shamrock must only have 3 leaves. That's how Patrick taught the Holy Trinity, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. 3 in 1 like the clover. You probably have also heard that Patrick drove the snakes out of Ireland. Of course, that was only a metaphor, you say. There were never any snakes in Ireland. What makes you so certain of that? The spiritual illusion aside, what if Patrick had turned all the snakes into eels and sent them off into the waters? Loch Ness, one of the largest lakes in all of Ireland, is teeming with eels, which is a great delicacy for centuries. Though the Irish are known for fighting each other, it is their humour, their ability to laugh at themselves that will always save them. Have you heard about the Irishman who damaged himself drinking milk? The cow fell on him. Many a book has been written about the Irish humour and about the Irish joke. If the same jokes were told about any other ethnicity, race, or nationality, they would be considered offensive. But the Irish will laugh at themselves along with you, even if they are the butt of the joke. Let me tell you a story from one of my family visits to the Emerald Isle, to our heaven on earth. On each trip, we would stay at a bed and breakfast in my grandmother's hometown. The landlady would prepare an Ulster fry consisting of fried eggs, bacon, sausage, a fried tomato, potato bread, and soda bread. Then at night, after we toured the countryside and visited relatives, she would provide tea before going to bed. On this particular night, in this particular evening, all the tenants were together enjoying a wee cup of tea and chatting about the day's events. The landlady's husband pulled out a small book of jokes and began to read aloud, and the laughter began. My grandparents laughed as they recognized people in the jokes. My parents laughed, and my sister and I laughed, even though we were too young to understand many of the jokes. Our landlady laughed, and so did the other tenant of the house. O'Meyer met Loan, an old friend. My gracious, said O'Meyer, I haven't seen you in 30 years since we left Galway. Have you been? Oh, I'm fine. You married? Oh, yes, said Loan. Me wife's an angel. You're lucky, said O'Meyer. Mine's still alive. Our landlord could tell a great joke all on his own, but having such a collection allowed for the laughter to keep on going. Because of the laughter, I remember that night so well. Why was it so special? Let me tell you about the people there enjoying the tea and the laughs. McMahon returned from a visit to his family in Galway. "What kind of state is Ireland in?" asked his American neighbor. "Status quo," replied McMahon. "In the south of Ireland we have the Catholics. In the north we have Protestants. And they're at each other's throats, as usual, all the time. If only they were heathen, so they could get along like good Christians." My grandparents, both from Northern Ireland, are Protestant, from the Methodist and Presbyterian churches. Now Baptists, along with my parents, my father from a Quaker background. Our landlady and her husband are Catholic, and she from the Republic of Ireland. And our fellow tenant, well, he was an Englishman. Not only that, he was a British soldier assigned to Northern Ireland. Realize this was in the middle of the Troubles, from the bombs and violence and terrorism. The soldiers were there to keep the peace, but only made things worse. None of it mattered in that house that night. Everyone was friends, and everyone was laughing. If only laughter could save us all from the world's troubles. When is the best time to sell a plot of land to an Irishman? When the tide's out. Thank you, and happy St. Patrick's Day.